It's over in a moment, a blinded flash of brilliance, a flash so insecure. We keep it safe and shackled.
There's just nothing like a frosty bottle of Coca-Cola.
You want to know my name and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've got wild hair.
Who are you and what do you do? If you could introduce yourself.
Sorry, I'm freezing up.
Okay. Kirsty.
I'm Kevin Smith. I'm a cognitive behavioural psychotherapist working in GP practices.
I've been suffering years from ill health. Got to the point where I needed a diagnosis of what my problem was, because I was floundering. I'd been floundering for years, wondering what on earth I had.
The first experience was when I was on the train going into work.
Over a long weekend, I just suddenly realised I couldn't face up to the tasks that were before me in the following week.
Not knowing how to ask for help from anyone, feeling shame, truly thinking, quite calmly, quite reasonably, thinking life is not worth living.
It took me about a decade to come to terms with my depression. You feel so lonely when you're going through a period. For me, a cyclical period of depression. It's such a lonely, lonely place. It's such a very dark place.
It's very easy to think, I just can't do this anymore. I can't go through another episode of depression. And that's when people become very risky, particularly of harming themselves or suicide. And suicide's a huge problem. We're talking about over 5,000 a year in the UK.
Like everyone said to me, oh, he was always so happy, he was always this, and you don't seem like you're depressed, and it gave you like a sense of guilt as well as being ashamed, because I looked at my life from an outsider's point of view, and I had a nice car, I had a good job in London, I was stripping at the weekends, so I had money, I had a good network of friends. Everything on paper was really, really good. So I think that made it more baffling as to why I felt so sad.
You just feel like you're a complete failure because you can't just do normal life. And also you can't explain it to other people, and you can't be real. Not only can you not explain it, but you can't tell people what the problem is.
Depression is a completely evolved defensive strategy. So how does depression help you? You ask a depressed person, how is your depression helping you? That's going to be a very difficult question for them to answer. But in evolutionary terms, depression, and this is largely based on the work of Professor Paul Gilbert, but the way depression helps us is it protects us against chronic stress conditions. So if you're a caveman and every time you go out of the cave there's a saber-toothed tiger there, it makes perfect sense for you to stop going out of the cave and hide in the back of the cave and become very quiet. Now that similar kind of system is built into all of us. So you put any human under high stress for long periods and they will develop depression.
I've had a 30-year career. I've worked in numerous property organisations. I've been on the board of numerous property companies. And without doubt, there is a feeling that you've failed if you have to front up to mental health issues.
Despite the stigma of mental health problems that there still is in this society, which totally disgusts me, the most amazing thing is how brave people with mental health problems are.
Wow, beautiful. I could tell by her eyes she flipped for clean, natural-looking hair.
Music and white jersey.
Taxpayers to pay to teach in my way.